Hello everyone, in this channel I'll be talking about many issues from politics to history and more. This is my first video and the topic is all about tribalism in Naga society. The Nagas are from the northeast of India. Nagas have a very long history of headhunting, insurgency, and it is culturally different from the rest of India. Today we are specifically talking about Nagas. In the recent past, many incidents have taken place, talks between NACNIM, the biggest faction in Nagaland, and the government of India. Nagas have always identified themselves different from the rest. And a delegation led by Dr. Imkongliba Ao, who met Mr. Nehru, the then Prime Minister of India, and led before him the memorandum containing the 16 points on the 26th July 1960. Most of the final texts of the 16-point agreement have been embodied under the Article 371A of the Constitution. Go on and talk about this for hours, but today I want to share an entirely different aspect of the Naga people. You know, it is true that we look different as compared to the mainstream Indians, and the outside world presume that Indians look all the same until they experience the diverse culture of India and the traditions and its people. We call South Indians North Indians, West Indians and East, but we all have distinct values. Our hopes and desires to come together will eventually continue. Our country is divided by religion, fights over boundaries, etc. Even though we share the same bed, we wake up with different motives. Nagaland as a state has many issues with its neighboring states and the motherland. We all stand together, we become one, so to speak. The entire region unites when we are racially discriminated or any unjust mishaps occur. We congregate and initiate protests, we provide a shoulder to one another, we seek for justice and we stand as one. But let's go deeper. We have 16 tribes in Nagaland. We all have different dialects. This is the most basic form of division. We all have different dialects. Now, I'm not going against the languages or dialects spoken by different tribes, but we should instead rejoice over the fact that we come as one. All the tribes in Nagaland have lots of similarities, but we choose to compete with one another than to compete globally as one. We are all humans, and we live in a society where we tend to get along with people with common interests. But tribalism has engulfed our society in such a way that even politics is driven by the engine of isms. Yes, we need to preserve our heritage, we must be proud of our roots, but the world has changed, people are more progressive, and we did not come across the Stone Age just because stones got over. We evolved, we adapted to change, and discovered the possibilities on this earth. Like I said, each tribe has similarities, but we have too many masters to follow. The Nagas stood for a cause for freedom. We fought many civil wars. We have gone through many hardships, but betrayal within tribes and communities have never left. There are many incidents which were not covered by the national media, and it wasn't so necessary. But I want to bring this up because we fought among tribes. To pin out an example of tribalism, let's take the incident that happened a few years back between the Semas and the Angamis. Evidently, a Sema guy stole a bike in Kohima, and the bike happened to belong to an Angami. So the Angamis beat him up so bad that he succumbed to the beating. But who is to say that the people who killed him were all Angamis? Maybe they were Aos, Lothas and Rangmas, etc., including in the mob who were responsible for the death of the man. But since it coincidentally happened in a place where the Angamis are a majority, people concluded that the mob consisted of only Angamis. On learning about the incident, the Semas in Dimapur were enraged and went about vandalizing properties belonging to Angamis in Dimapur. The situation could clearly have been avoided if the people were educated enough that no good can come about by letting the mob mentality take them over. We never know why the disease stole the bike. Maybe he was an ordinary thief, Or maybe he wasn't a thief, but due to financial reasons, he had to do what he did. So again, unemployment can make people conduct acts of crime. It's not because they want to, it's because they have to. Thus, the Angamis in Chumuketima retaliated again by arming themselves to meet with the Semas, which led the Assam Rifles to come in between the two fractions to stop the violence from spreading any further. This goes to show that sometimes even education and having a good income cannot stop us from multiplying the tribalism that is innate. It comes from within, so handling it can be difficult, but just look where it led us. Instead of making the tribes and Nagas as a whole come under one umbrella, it is dividing us in a way which could be harmful for the future of our state and our people. Why are we together as one outside our home when we fight amongst each other at our own backyard? Since time immemorial, we come from a blood of warriors. We pride ourselves from where we belong, but even today we incline towards tribalism. Why are we fighting for our freedom if we ourselves are separated by tribes? The word tribalism itself means a group superior to others. In our case, we have 16 tribes. Does that mean we will fight over tribe superiority? Nagas living in New York, London, and the Nagas living in a remote village all feel the same. Living in a city or a different country will not change your identity. We have blinded ourselves with money, power, and dominance. Is this what preservation is all about? Celebrating the Hornbill Festival every year is not called preservation. Many youngsters these days cannot even speak their own dialect, let alone ask about their ancestors, which will ultimately lead to the disintegration of the oral tradition, since we don't have any written books by our ancestors. ILP isn't gonna help, nor Section 371A. We all are given the hopes of Greater Nagaland, and different governments come and go, but we remain the same. It is not the government's fault, it is us who is to change. Tribalism should have been long gone, but we still cling. Now let me ask you a question before I end this video. During the mob lynching of a non-local man who was accused of raping a Naga woman, he was dragged from central jail to the heart of the city and he was lynched. Would you have reacted the same if he was Naga? So please leave your comments below, and I have nothing against anyone, and I'm sure you loved the video. This is the end of the video. There are many things which I have not covered, so do let me know in the comment section. This was just a short understanding of our society. I know I have lots to improve, so any feedback is welcome, and do subscribe for more and share it to everyone. Thank you.